any other hobby related to games. And so today we're going to be doing a dollar store build. We're going to do a tabletop build from the dollar store. The build takes about 8 hours to do, and with drying time it takes 42 hours. So there is some drying times and stuff, and now you can speed this drying time up if you have hot weather. You can put things outside, things dry quicker. But for me, where I am, there wasn't any really nice days when I did this project. It actually rained most of the time, and so I couldn't speed up the process of drying. So, but it's about 8 hours worth of work. Now, I'm going to tell you how I got this. I like to tell stories about where we get to, how we got to the point where we are. And so the first thing I'd like to mention is that this started because I bought the Clone Wars starter pack with a friend. He took all the clones in the Grand Republic Army, and I took all the Separatist faction. And so as I started doing them, I'm mainly a rebel player, and so I've been basing things with sand and snow and mud, and those have been kind of my basing. So I started basing them with sand, and so I did my normal technique for basing, and I made my sand texture paint, and then I washed it and then highlight it, and so this is kind of the what we got. And let me just show you a little closer. This is kind of what I got when I was doing them. Now, I'm not the greatest painter in the world here, but this is what I turned out. And so then I got General Grievous, because who doesn't like General Grievous? And so I did General Grievous here, and so this is kind of the product I had there. And so, but one of the things I was doing when I was building this, I realized that I really would like to do something on Geonosis. So I started mixing up some paint and trying to get the right colors and textures and building some texture. And so I ended up basing my first unit that was based on Geonosis like this. And so this is kind of the color of that scheme that I got there. And so there was the beginning of what I was doing. And so I thought, well, I could use some Geonosis type-esque stuff. So I went to my junk barrel and I picked out some old gum containers and bottle caps and a piece of old tile and some other bits in my junk and some straws. And I put this together as my kind of shield generator left on Geonosis, kind of worn down thing. And if people want, I will do a build of this a little further. If people want to learn how exactly I build it, we can do that as a build. Just add a request down in the things and I can show you how it's done. But it's very simple anyways. So that's what I did. And then I was like, I'd like to do some more dollar store stuff. And so I was walking through the Dollarama and the dollar store, and I noticed something that I really thought was kind of cool. I noticed these boards, and I thought maybe I can just do a diorama with one of my Star Wars units and just have it up on my shelf, and it would make a perfect diorama. And so these boards are $4 Canadian dollar store, and they're 12 inches by 16 inches, which I started thinking about it after I bought one. They would make a really good modular tabletop. And so that's what brings us to today. We are actually going to accomplish and attack a modular tabletop from dollar store stuff. And so what that means is we're going to use stuff at the dollar store. There are some things that aren't from the dollar store that are general crafting things or whatnot, but I'll explain how you can still use dollar store stuff to do it. So I ended up buying 20 of them. You only need 15 of them to make the board. But I wanted a few extra change outs so I can make it more modular. And so this build today is going to be a dollar store table, modular table. It took me about 8 hours again, as I said, and it was 42 hours with drying time. And so we're going to go through the steps. I'm going to show you how I made the boards, my designs, and the reason I chose what I did. And we're going to walk through, and I'm going to show you some of the techniques that I changed a little bit that make it easier that out of not dollar store stuff, but I'll also tell you how you do it with stuff you can get right from the dollar store, because I want to be cheap and easy for anybody to be able to do this. And so let's get building.